Buki Jushi Meto Tam Rira Mingshi Ninde Gempadi Sangye Shindu Mite Uargi Joku Namda Shingla Chuparsho Irang Guru Ratna Mandala Kamye Yatayami Chedang Soki Chognam La Changchu Baidu Dagni Kapsuchi Daki Chunyen Gipe Sunam Gi Dola Penchir Sangye Drupasho Chedang Soki Chognam La Changchu Baidu Dagni Kapsuchi Daki Chunyen Gipe Sunam Gi Yola Penchir Sangye Drupasho Chedang Soki Chognam La Changchu Baidu Dagni Kapsuchi Daki Chunyen Gipe Sunam Gi Yola Penchir Sangye Drupasho. All right then. I thought this is part of the book contract that we're trying to use to get funds from China to the US. And it's kind of delayed for a while, but I think there's a good chance it will come through. But I thought you might like to just see the schedule and which books there are. Let me see if I can get something else. Where is that?
Other pants.
UNC? No. Other pants. No. Maybe I'll do it later. Okay, anyway, here's the... Dang, where is that? I'll have to show it to you later. Anyway, here's the schedule. I put the Chinese books up front because the sponsor's more interested in those. So, this is we're going to call it Xuanzang's Legacy because nobody knows Yuanzi, even in China, right? Not that many people. This is, the subject is called Neyarta Nitarta. What is that Neyarta Nitarta?
Oh, interpretation.
It's coming.
Figurative and literal.
The computer's working slower this morning. In Tibetan? Chang'e. This is Chang'e. Okay. And so it's an ancient idea. Didn't start with some kappa. Chang means you have to interpret it. Nge means take it at face value. Okay. What's a famous example in the monastery?
Smash those cups for me.
Kayu Joshi. Kayu Joshi. Kayu Joshi. Say. Kayu Joshi. The disciple is washing dishes, the lama's teaching a class, and the disciple's going bang, 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 and banging all the dishes. And then the lama says, could you just please break all those cups? Then that's Chang, which is, I think, was it Neyarta or Nitarta? I was afraid you're going to ask me that. I think it's Neyarta. Let's look it up. I'm supposed to know this, but I think Neya means pulled out. Maybe it's a long.
Is a long eye.
There you go. Yeah, Neyarta is Tangdun. Neyarta means pulled out. Arta means meaning, right? Neya means pulled out. Okay. All right. Anyway, it's called Sky Flowers and Magic Shows. The first book, and why I don't remember, and I have some notes, and I'll try to find them for you. Okay. I did this quite a while ago, and those are the dates of Master Yunzi. And I fixed the Buddha, but I'll have to do it on each one. And I was just trying to, the assignments aren't for sure. Probably they'll change if we do the Shenzhen thing. You know, if we end up doing Yunzi in China, then it might be different people. But basically, I was trying to find people who were going to be free by then. So that's going to end in 2020. Okay, and then the Chinese translation from the English is usually like 6 months or a year later. Unfortunately, we can't start translating into secondary languages until the whole book is done, because sometimes you find something at the end of the book that makes you change the beginning of the book. So it's a waste of time to start translating it. To fix the translation later it takes more time than to do it over. Then I put in another volume here. I had Udpala on that one. And that's arguments from Yunzi about the famous logic of emptiness, neither one nor many. Okay. Still coming from the 6th chapter of the sutra. There's the... Who is this? This is... this is... Oh, right. This is the Chonin Lama's commentary to the Dhammapada Sutra. And we translated it, I don't know, how many years ago? 6, 7 years ago?
I think it started in 2007.
Yeah, she was teaching it, so we were translating it, and then she was teaching it at Diamond Mountain. And we finished it. But now I'm cleaning it up. So I can go faster than you can go because it's already finished, I'm just cleaning. So I'm doing about 1/3 of it every semester. So we can finish the Diamond Cutter commentary this year. And then we can do the Heart Sutra commentary next year, just in my spare time. So we did finish the first 180 pages, something like that. And I think you guys got that. And that's the book we're going to give to Mr. Liu as bait on the hook to try to get another donation. Because the donation runs out for you guys this time.
We're going to give them the finished product?
Just the first third, yeah.
Oh, okay.
You never give a sponsor the whole thing. Just kidding. Okay, yeah. You don't have any leverage.
Can't afford to give you the whole thing yet.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That'll take more sponsorship. Here's Xiaoping's text. So I'm at this. If we speed up a little bit, you can finish by 2021. Okay. And then the Chinese translation finished by 2022. Okay. Then Stanley's text. Here's the trick right here. Yeah. He noticed it. We'll finish the first part in 2022. He'll be doing Abhidharma for the rest of his life. He'll be an old man when the last book comes out.
Older than Vasubha.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Then here's, whose book is this? This is Sugang's. No, who is this? Oh, this is another book by Xuanzang, by Yunzi. And it's called Tartu Tekpa Chik. Say Tartuk.
Tartuk.
Tekpa.
Tekpa.
Chik.
Chik.
What do you call that? Not allusion. Allusion. Consonants. Consonants is the poetry term. when a word, when you say she sells by the sea.
Alliteration.
Oh,
It starts with the same letter.
what's consonants? You should look it up. Anyway,
Alliteration?
say tartuk,
Tartuk.
terpa, tartuk tepachik.
Tartuk.
Tartuk means in the end. Tepachik means all paths are one. All paths. All paths in the world. All religions, all beliefs. There's a big argument for it in the Prajnaparamita. Tartuk Tekpachik. It's a beautiful word, you know. In the end, all paths go to the same place. And that's the subject of that book.
So alliteration is repetition of consonants,
Uh-huh.
and then assonance is repetition of vowels.
I thought assonance was what.
Yeah, well, that's
Anyway,
I think you're right.
what's consonance?
alliteration.
One of
Consonants,
the
assonance, and alliteration describe three different types of sound repetition.
What's consonance?
Consonants, it's repetition of similar sounds, especially
Repetition, yeah.
consonants.
I think the
Close
seashells,
proximity. I think you're
is
right.
correct.
Yeah. Okay.
From once.
So I did learn something in high school. All right, volume 7. So we're up to volume 7. This is Adam's text. And note this little thing here, Adam. So your book is very long also. So you'll be an old man also. Your first volume will finish in 2020. And then you got 3 more volumes to go. So
300 pages in the first volume?
yeah.
English pages.
I'll tell you why. His is exclusively debate, so the lines are short. It's like, I don't think so. I believe, you think, I think. You can fill a whole page quickly. So he'll look smarter than any of you, but he won't necessarily be smarter. It'll just look,
Spaces after Tibetan.
yeah. It will look longer, but it will read fast. It'll be a fast read. Okay.
She sells seashells. Sally sells.
This is words text, if I can figure it out. You know, we're just about to hit the real stuff. We just finished the historical part, but we're just about to hit the real hard stuff. We got a vacation last class. So anyway, that's his. And just so you know, it's really a root text and a commentary, as many are. And he wrote both. He wrote the root text and he wrote his auto commentary. Okay. That will finish in 2020. If we go faster than we're doing now. Then this is, I like this. It's called The Puddle and the Sea. And I think it's a cool name. You see, you got to find names like that for your books, like catchy names. They don't have to relate to the subject matter at all. But it actually does. It's something about, you know, small examples of emptiness are as relevant as big examples of emptiness. But Yuan's commentary is very sexy. So I was thinking to do that with Chinese translation stuff, which means, what do you call those guys? Gold, pure gold. He calls them the pure gold group. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Then. I got some good news. So the series called Classics of Middle Asia, I did 2 books already, 30 years ago, and something like 30 years ago, and more than 30 years ago. Anyway, they were published. We started a publishing house called Mahayana Sutra and Tantric Press, and they've been publishing it since then, and it's also ACI Course 1. But the guy in charge of the press refuses to put it on Amazon because he doesn't like Amazon, because he doesn't make enough money. But you can't find the book. You can't get it. I mean, you have to find their tiny little website, which is a 1970s website, and they started the website before I published the book. And
You have to send them a check if you want to buy something.
you have to send them a check. Anyway, I wrote, I was afraid we would have a fight, so I wrote him and said, I'm doing this series, and by the way, I'm going to republish my book. And he didn't say no, so I assume we're okay. So we'll be able to republish that, but I'd like to go through it and update it. So that'll take some time. But anyway, we can put that. That's the one with Jetson Kappa on the front. And I really like that cover because it's the only photo of the only statue that was made in Tsongkapa's time. And it was destroyed in 1959. The statue was destroyed. Somebody took a photo of it before. And it's been remade, and it's fake, and it's in clay, and it's ridiculous. It doesn't look like him at all. His nickname was Mr. Big Nose. He had a big nose, and he had big ears. But he had a cutout over half of his thing, and my stepmom went and took a picture of Tara's hands, and did that. In those days, there's no Photoshop. You have to
Literally cut
yeah. And so she rebuilt the whole thing, and she did a good job. It looks good. And then anyway, so I mentioned that to this person that since my stepmom did all the work on the cover. Anyway, they didn't complain, so I think we made some progress. This is a cool idea to do Melinda.
Oh, cool.
So this is a Greek king named Menander who met a Buddhist monk named Nagasena. The Greeks ruled India for 500 years after Alexander in 326 BC. And they say that Ashok was quarter Greek. There's a debate about it, but anyway, I think it's true. So the greatest king of India was part Greek, and so there's a beautiful conversation of a Greek king and a Buddhist monk, and the most important part there is they talk about the emptiness of a wagon. So I called it a car. It's not a car, and it's very interesting, and that discussion became part of Buddhist literature forever after that. Then that was written in Pali. It was written in Sanskrit, and then it was translated into Pali. The Sanskrit is lost. Somebody has put it back together. But after that, they started adding stuff. And but it got to China very early. So the Chinese edition is more pure than the Pali edition. So I thought it'd be exciting to do it together with the Chinese staff. And I was thinking Dennis might like to work on it, who's Mr. Wu's translator, if the whole thing goes well. His father was one of the greatest Pali scholars in China. Dennis's father. So he's probably the most famous Pali scholar in China. Anyway, I thought it'd be cool if he worked on it, because probably he has this thing about his father, and he could put it out. And it's not very difficult. The text is not very difficult, and it was never translated into Tibetan. So it'd be interesting to translate it into Tibetan also. It didn't make it into the Tengyur. Tengyur, yeah.
How do we know it was ever in Sanskrit?
There's some references to it.
Pali was spoken then. I mean, it was.
Yeah, Pali is spoken Sanskrit, but there's some pieces of it or something. And I have the Sanskrit. Someone has reconstructed it. Anyway, it's a cool book, and the Chinese version is more pure. So I thought it'd be interesting to translate that. And then I thought, since it's so short, we could add later discussions of parts and wholes, because it's a discussion about the emptiness of parts and wholes.
Right.
So I thought we could add some famous commentaries on that, because it's too short to make a book. Yeah. This is Sugang's text, 2020, if we're lucky. Okay. Maybe I'll have some hair by then. I don't know. This is Xuanzang's 5th book. This is the guts of it. You know, did the Buddha contradict himself? Can you read it okay, Xiaoping? You need it bigger? Let's see. Let's do this. Yeah, I think that's kind of cool. That the Chinese translation by 2025. Okay. Just because we're all going to be busy, just to finish the books you're on is going to take a long time. Okay. This is, but if we get a good team going in Shenzhen, we can finish it faster. This is Betz's.
Look at you.
This is Betz's text. Yeah, you're really early. Okay.
It's practically the same.
Yeah. You know, it's good to be honest about it with a sponsor. If you finish earlier, it's okay, but to ask for more money is a little strange. So, and books take longer than you expect. They always take longer than you expect. Like the book that Sugang's waiting for August.
Sorry about that.
No, you're not going to get it, obviously, but you'll get something
Yeah, sure.
interesting. People have already sponsored the book, but it's not going to happen. I'm writing a big book about Wheel of Life. I have 1,000 pages in notes. And I don't have any book yet. Yeah. This is Nick's text. Maybe 2020, I think. By the way, his name is Dharma, but it's not Dharma.
Right.
It's a Tibetan word, Dharma, and it's no connection to the word Dharma. Okay. So everybody thinks it's misspelled, but it's not. Okay.
2024.
What is Dharma?
It means to spread, I think. Like Targe. My first Lama was Targe. Yeah, to spread the Dharma. But I think it might be a tribe name or something. I'm not sure it has a meaning. Who's this? Oh, this is Xuanzang's, another book of Xuanzang. This is a discussion of shamatha and vipassana by Xuanzang, by Yunse. So it's very cool. Yeah, he has a whole chapter on the meaning of vipassana and shamatha. So I think that'll be sexy in China because people know the word vipassana. And I think it'll be interesting for people. Hey. She got her new phone. Remember to eat something. Okay. I can remember that.
Yeah, I can't remember.
I can't remember certain words, but
Yours is later this morning.
Oh my god.
what? This is Ben's text. You're early. You're 2018.
I should say.
You can finish next.
We better hurry.
Yours is not that long. Yeah.
How did you figure out the numbering system? Because they don't seem to be in order.
They're not. They're heavily weighted towards the Chinese book first. That's all.
Oh, I see.
So they'll be published out of order.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's not a problem. It's kind of even more interesting because
Yeah.
here's volume 17. You need to buy the first 16, right, Sugang? And we will talk about it. Maybe I'll have dinner with you in
Farmer
Shenzhen.
Gemma committee did that, right? Farmer Gemma did 1 and then 3 and then 2 and then everyone was like, oh, 2's coming
Yeah,
out.
yeah, yeah. Oh, really? They did the last one
Yeah,
first?
totally. They did 2 last.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. They did a good job on that. I mean, I don't totally support the translation, but I think to get a team of American scholars to work together was some kind of miracle. And they standardized pretty well the literature, the language, and it was a great piece of organizational work. The guy's name is Joshua Cutler. He's an old student of Geshe Wangyal who brought Rinpoche here. So he was in the same room with Thurman and Jeffrey Hopkins, but he chose to stay with his Lama until he took care of him when he got old, and he never got famous. But then he did this Lama Chamo. So maybe he did the best thing, I don't know. Anyway, that's a rehash of that second book with Tara on the front. And this is another It's a discussion of the three turnings of the wheel by Yuan Tse. Okay. Yeah, it's a pretty sexy. You saw a big piece of it yesterday, right? So he's kind of into history. You know, I had an idea about Yupamawa.
Oh,
The Sanskrit word for Yupa is Baba, but Baba also translates as Ngopo. And Ngopamawa is the first three schools, as opposed to Tombamawa, the fourth school.
Right.
I think it's a translation thing. I think, and we can check the Chinese, but the word for the lower three schools have a name called functionalist. And they're the ones that believe gasoline has something in it that makes the car go. And the higher school says, no, it's coming from your seeds. So if it's loaded, gasoline will work. And if it's not loaded, your car will break down on the way. Then the gasoline won't work. You see what I mean? So, but the word for functioning thing, ngopo, in Tibetan, is this, in Sanskrit, it's the same as the word for existing, yupa. So baba can mean functioning thing, or it can mean existing thing. So I'm guessing that whoever translated Yuan Tse into Tibetan used yupa instead of ngopo. Yeah, instead of functional.
Oh yeah.
Right.
See.
I had this idea last night when I was, farting around. Okay. This is a commentary to the Heart Sutra, which we finished already, but I just have to clean it up. And this is the Karma Vibhanga, which maybe Dr. Wu wants to do. I don't know. It's pretty easy. It's not philosophy. It's stories of karmic correlations. This is this guy named Seiji. And yours is a big book, and it's going to take a long time. 2021. Where are you?
It's here.
Oh, hi. Yeah. So you don't have to stick with the titles. They're just provisional. You choose your own title. I think that one's not quite. I want something sexier. Okay. Crown and Knives parts is okay, but the other part. Okay. I forget what this is. I have another document I'll share with you tomorrow. But
2 minutes, Kashala.
yeah, that's it. 23 volumes. It proposed so far, and then what you see in this proposal is Dr. Wu wanted to add the DCI manuals to the series, and that may be a nice idea. So I just kind of named them more, key to successful relationships. Boring names. Overcoming addiction. But I think you could add those to the series. You could clean them up. So that would be 10 of them so far. Level 10 is about anger. Managing anger. Then he wanted the videos for the life tools. So Anatol's been working on that. He's been doing a great job. So like level 2 for the students downstairs, there are, 100 videos for them to watch. There's 17 videos of the pen in different cities, And so he's created a library where you can go and watch 5 minutes of Geshe Michael teaching the pen in Sweden, and then 5 minutes of him teaching it in Shanghai, and you can see the development of the ideas.
Is it published? Or, open to the public?
No.
No, but you can.
Are you sure?
I don't know. Parts of it are, I think.
There are.
I don't know exactly.
It is open. It is?
You think-
So that's a new development.
I don't know. Anyway, Dr. Wu wanted to license them for training his stuff. So those are the.
It's 7:30 again.
Okay, those are the videos. They're already ready.
Are you gonna let him do that?
Huh?
Are you gonna let him do that?
Yeah. For training his staff, not for selling. Okay. Once you give something in China to one person, it's that's the end of the story. Anyway,
Street radio.
in New York, you have to give it to. In America, you have to give it to 3 people. Okay.